Hello, beautiful soul. It is Anna T. Brooks, the Soul Purpose Activator. Welcome to this week's weekly energy oracle card reading for this week, the 2nd to the 8th of September 2024. What a week. Oh my gosh. I feel like I have so much coming out for this week. And I want to start with, as always, a little bit of my intuitive kind of hit of what's going on. So before I jump in, make sure you do say hello, whether you're watching this as the live recording or on the replay here on Facebook or on YouTube. Say hello. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're sensing around this week and how you're already feeling going into this week. I always do love to hear how you guys are actually feeling it. And yeah, let's dive in. So as always, I have my Work Your Light Oracle card deck by Rebecca Campbell, which I will be using for the main reading. And then I've got another bonus deck today, the Moonology Messages Oracle deck that I'm going to be using as the bonus reading towards the end. I've got something really exciting to share with you at the end, a little one-on-one mini reading offer that I've just decided to pop out as just a little surprise as well. So stay tuned for that at the end. But yeah, let's jump into this week's energy. So the first thing that's kind of been coming through to me this week, and it's very simple. It's very, I don't feel like I have a whole lot of messages coming through this week. There was some weeks where it's very specific things and I just get a lot of different things drop in. This week, it's just an overarching energy that I'm feeling going into this week of things are about to speed up, right? I feel like we've been in this little bit of a restructuring, reinvention, reconfiguration for the past couple of weeks and for the past maybe month or so as well, where we sort of thought we were moving in one way and then we kind of recalibrated and then we kind of didn't really get that lift off that we wanted. And there's just been that lot of sort of kind of back and forth. It feels like things are really shifting into high gear this week, that timelines are just speeding up a lot. A lot of things are going to change in a very quick succession. And when it hits, you'll know, right? Everybody's on a different timeline. Obviously, you're on your own personal journey here. But for whatever time that hits for you, you're going to know it. You're going to feel it. Things are just going to start to feel like they've moved into fast forward. So that's the energy that I've been feeling coming through for this week. Like I said, not a whole lot of specific, detailed kind of little things that have popped in. It's just that overarching energy. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I'd love to know how you're feeling about that already. And let's go ahead. I'm going to start shuffling the cards so we can see what the cards have to say about this week for the Mind, Body, Soul reading. So again, as always, the Work Your Light Oracle card deck by Rebecca Campbell. I've already pre-shuffled the cards before, so they're all ready to go. And I'm going to start now shuffling to see what 3 cards come out for us. So for this week, Mind, what wants to come out? What message wants to come out for the mind this week? Show me clearly what wants to come out for the mind. Taking its time today. Oh, nope, there it goes. Excellent. All right. Body. Let's see what wants to come out for body. Okay, that one. That just made itself known. And soul. What card wants to come out for the soul? Show me clearly. Show me clearly. What is coming out for the soul this week? What message do you have for us? There it is. All right. Beautiful. So let's dive in. So one of the things I just wanted to mention as well, I always pay attention to how the cards come out. If you've been watching me a while, you know I always have a sense about things. The mindset card and the soul card took a little bit longer to come out this week, whereas the body card kind of really made itself known quite quickly. So this is kind of feeding into that energy that I spoke about at the start, about how things are finally feeling like they're really moving forward and shifting into high gear. I feel like this week there's going to be a lot of tangible shifts, so a lot of 3D world stuff that is actually going to shift in your life. The internal world and your mindset and everything, all of that stuff in the background might take a little bit more of a back seat, but it feels like there's going to be some really specific physical changes that are going to be coming through this week, because that's the one that's really come out prominently. So let's see what the cards have to say. So for mindset, so this is for the conscious energies. This is what you're going to be aware of, what you're going to be thinking about, what you're going to be kind of, it's going to be top of mind. You're just going to be very aware of this energy this week. Okay, we have the inner temple, and it says underneath, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So this is a little bit more of an internal card, right? So this is speaking to that you're going to be very aware this week that when what you're thinking about, the way that you're assessing situations, the thoughts that you're having, the judgments that you're making, or the perceptions that you're having, you're tending to run them through a filter of, is this really what's aligned for me? Is this really what my heart wants? Is this really what my soul wants? Is this really something that's going to light me up? You're not going to find yourself thinking very much about wanting to do things just for shallow reasons, or just for looks, or for how it presents to other people, or anything that is not actually grounded in you and your heart and your soul. You're just not going to find yourself really thinking along those lines or wanting to commit along those lines, because this week you're going to be much more aware of how it is that you're feeling, what it is that your soul and your heart is telling you to do. And that's what's going to be floating through your mind a lot more, which makes it really interesting to see how this actually plays out in terms of the changes that are coming. Because like I said, if you're making those decisions, if you're tuning into that portal of your heart and really trusting that whatever changes are happening and whatever changes you're implementing, they're going to be the right ones, because you're actually in the state of moving forward because it's aligned for you, rather than making decisions because somebody else told you to, or it seems like the right thing to do, or it seems logical, or you're being pressured, or whatever it is. When you're conscious of that, when you're having those thoughts in your head of, is this actually right for me? Is this actually what feels right in my heart and soul? You're much more likely to make the right decisions of what you want to do, because you're not making them from a disempowered place where you're giving away your power. You're actually making them from your empowered place. So that's the mindset. Now let's see what the body has to say, because this one, like I said, this one was the prominent one that came out. Okay, we have share your voice. Share your voice. And underneath it says, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. So this is that energy that I was talking about with things picking up speed and things moving really, really quickly. This is telling you that this week, if you want to continue that momentum, if you want to make things happen quickly, you need to speak up. You need to speak up. You need to say the things. You need to be outspoken. You need to be brave. You need to say the things that you've been holding back. You need to not mince your words. You need to share your voice. You need to speak up. You need to say those things. This is really, really crucial, because again, this is from that mindset card, right? With the inner temple, everything is coming from your heart. Everything is coming from a place of alignment to your highest self and to others, because when you are coming from your heart space, it isn't just of service to you. It is actually of service to the world. So even if it's scary, even if you're worried about ruffling feathers, even if you're worried about what someone else is going to think or say, or how expectations of you are different, or whatever it is, this is not the week to fall victim to shutting yourself down. This is the week to share your voice. If you do this, that energy is just going to amplify, and you're going to find that things move really, really quickly. For some of you, I've just got this has just dropped in, that for some of you, it's the things that you haven't been saying, that you've been holding back, that have been the reason why you haven't had those changes, those shifts, those alignments take place in your physical world, where you're like, I don't get it. I'm doing all the right things. I'm taking all the steps. I'm doing this, and this, but it's not happening. I'm not being recognized. The universe isn't responding, whatever it is. For some of you, this is a specific message. I'm hearing that it is specifically because of this, because you haven't been honest. You haven't really shared your voice. You haven't really spoken out. Instead, you've bit your tongue. You've pulled yourself back at times. And this has actually been stopping that momentum. Right? The momentum's there for you, and you've been the one stopping it. So this is the week to work with it, because it's going to move fast for you. And then the last card, so this is for the soul. So this is more of the underlying energy, kind of subconscious, what's going on underneath, that you're not going to be really that much paying attention to, but it's just good to know what's happening underneath, so you're aware of it, because it is influencing as well. And we have Lemuria. We've had this one come up a couple of times, actually, I think, in the last maybe a few weeks. Lemuria, and underneath it says creating heaven on earth, it's happening. So this is a lost land. This is an ancient land. It's part of the deck where it kind of speaks to different civilizations that used to exist, and Lemuria was one of them. And it was literally a place where heaven was on earth, right? So this is telling you that that underlying energy this week, if you're feeling into and you're actually following through the cards that we've spoken with the inner temple, tuning into your heart, trusting that, sharing your voice, being outspoken, saying the things you've been holding back, what's happening underneath is that this is curating your version of heaven on earth. This is curating your version of what is your ideal life, what is your ideal lifestyle, what does that look like on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. Well, who does that mean in terms of who you're surrounded by, how you live your life, what are your habits, all of these things creating your ideal heaven on earth. This is what is being curated in the background, but it's requiring you to pay attention to those first two to make this happen, to step into this, because like I said, this week things are moving fast. Very, very fast. All right, so that is the energy for the week. I'd love to hear how that resonates, how you're feeling, if you already know what it is that you're needing to speak up about. I'd love to hear how that, how that lands for you. So let's jump into the bonus cards. This week I have chosen the Moonology Messages Oracle deck. So this is by Yasmin, Boland. This is 2 decks I have. I'm going to be sharing about the other one in just a moment as well, because there's a special little mini offer that I'm going to tell you about. But we're using the Moonology Messages Oracle deck by Yasmin, Boland, and I'm going to pull 3 cards from this gorgeous deck. I'm going to pull them up one at a time so you can tune in and see which one feels like it has a message for you. This is more of a sort of personalized, like an extra message just for you for this week. Again, I'll pull them up so you can tune in. So let's see. I've shuffled these. Oh, okay. Number 1 already came out. Let's continue. Number 2. So again, I've always pre-shuffled these before I actually jump on live. That way I'm not doing like a full-on cleansing on camera, and I can just dive straight into everything with you. So card number 2. Okay, card number 1 wanted to come out really quickly. What have we got? What have we got? Nope, that's a whole bunch of cards. I'm going to give it a few more shuffles and see if it wants to come out. If not, I might need to do this. Oh, nope, that one wants to come out. Okay, cool. And 3. Nope, that's a whole bunch. I've had this deck for quite a while now, like maybe a few months, but it's still fresh in the way of like shuffling, and a lot of cards like to stick together. So we have our 3. Okay, so take a deep breath. Take a moment just to center yourself, connect to your heart space, to your intuition, whatever feels good for you. You can put a hand on your heart, on your stomach, on your solar plexus, whatever feels good for you. And I'm going to pull up the cards one by one so you can see which card you feel pulled to. Pop your comment, which card you chose as well in the comments. All right, so card number 1 is this one. This is card number 1. I know the light is very, very bright. That's card number 1. Card number 2. This is card number 2. And card number 3. This is card number 3. Okay. So once you've chosen your card, pop it in the comments. Let's do the reveal. So if you chose card number 1, we have moon cycles, patience. Moon cycles, patience. And I am going to read from the actual book for this one for you, so you get exactly what was intended. This card urges you to trust in divine timing. In ancient times, women and men were more attuned to the fact that life goes in cycles just like the moon. It served these women and men to know which moon phase they were in, just as it serves you to know which life phase you're in. As you go through whatever you're going through right now, as you experience whatever has prompted you to ask this question, as you impatiently wait for the next developments, remember that life goes in cycles. And just as you can't hurry up the moon, you can't speed up the process you need to go through now. You need to feel all your feelings and learn all your soul lessons as you go through whatever you're encountering. Patience is called for, but you'll more than likely get to where you want to go. It's not easy to wait, but sometimes instant gratification leads only to short-term goals. Whoosh. There you go. Okay, so that's an extra message if you chose card number 1, which is really interesting in the context of this week. It's like it's a little personal message to you to just remember patience, because there might be times when you're feeling like, what? Why hasn't it happened yet? Why not? All right, card number 2. If you chose card number 2, we have the yin moon, accept help. The yin moon, accept help. So let's read this one for you. Have you been trying to do everything by yourself? This isn't the answer to your current dilemma. You need to take a softer, possibly more collaborative approach. Maybe you've been too tough on yourself or on someone else. This card comes up when the energies are harsh. Being independent is a great thing, but sometimes we just refuse others' help for all the wrong reasons. Make sure you're not guilty of this right now. There is a sense that you need to accept someone else's help in order to get your job done or to get to where you want to go. Maybe you just need to ask someone for their advice. Find someone who you know will have a gentle response. In the yin and yang paradigm, yin is very soft like the moon. This isn't the time to push forward unrelentingly, but rather to see how you can soften into a solution. If you've been trying to drive something on or convince someone of something, take this card as a sign to proceed more gently. Okay, so this is card number 2, if you chose this one. And now finally, card number 3. If you chose card 3, we have the moon's reflection, accept responsibility. The moon's reflection, accept responsibility. I like these. I haven't had a lot of these come up before, so this is really, really good to actually notice. The moon's reflection. Okay. As you move along the spiritual path, it becomes more and more important to accept responsibility for your own actions. The situation you find yourself in now is a reflection of either your current beliefs or your past behaviors. This card isn't meant to make you feel discouraged or guilty. Rather, it's meant to encourage you to ask, why did I create this situation? What about this situation is helping me? Once you find the courage to answer these questions, you'll start to see that you have more power than you ever knew. We're all creating our lives 24/7. And while you may not like the idea that everything happens for a reason, it really is possible to find a reason for nearly everything that happens. Try to see your current dilemma with that perspective. It'll show you why it's happening for you. If someone is bothering you now, realize that they're a mirror for you. Realize that your inner life is reflected in your outer life and you're on the way to self-mastery. Wow. Okay, that is some powerful cards that have come out in the bonus reading this week. Regardless whether you chose card 1, 2, or 3, there is some kind of like almost like harsh truths in there that are coming through. So I would love to hear how that resonates. There's so much love in those cards, but obviously sometimes they are a little bit more blunt, which I like. I don't like to fluff around, so I prefer things to just be said as they are. Okay, perfect. So that is the bonus reading for this week. Now, I did promise you that I'm going to quickly let you know I am running a really small little mini reading offer at the moment, just a flash offer for this week. And this is going to be using the sister deck of this one, the Moonology Messages Oracle card deck, the OG, the Moonology Oracle cards. I'm running a mini reading offer at the moment, which is 3 cards from this deck. I pull 3 cards for you which cover the past, present, and future. So we are looking at the lessons that you've just gone through. What is the phase that you've just gone through and how to move past that? What is your present? What phase are you moving into? And what is this going to look like for you? And then the future. So what is coming next? What is happening after you go through this current phase for you? So we can apply this to a specific area of your life if you wish. We can look at this just specifically to your love life or your career or your business or money or whatever it is you'd like to do. We can do that, or we can just keep it general. Totally up to you. So this is 3 cards that I pull for you, as well as an audio explanation. I send through about 10 minutes, give or take, of audio explanations for these cards. And this is my own intuitive reading, as you know, how I interpret the messages and how I intuitively interpret them for you as well. So you receive all 3 cards, the descriptions from the book, as well as the 10 minutes or so of audio explanation that will be sent directly to your messenger. Super simple to access. And this is just $33 US. I'm doing a little flash offer at the moment. So if this is something that you would like to take advantage of, just send me a private message. We'll get that going for you. This is just happening this week, so heads up as well. I am traveling next week, so I will be actually recording the next week's Oracle card readings towards the end of this week so that they're already up ahead of time for you, as I'm not going to be able to record next week. So look out for that later in the week. But yes, that's why I'm running this flash offer just for this week. So if you would like to get the 3-card Oracle card reading just for you specifically, using the Moonology Oracle cards about your past, present, and future, get a little bit of that insight of what's going on, what's happening now, and what's coming up, and get that audio or explanation as well, send me a message and we will get that organized for you. Again, this one's $33 US for this mini reading. All right, I will leave it there. Have a beautiful week. I'm so excited to hear all the developments that happen for you. And I will see you next week or later this week for next week's reading. Sending you so much love. Mwah.